We're down at the sea terminal talking with Captain Mike Brew about wind farms. I mean, this is getting quite a lot of attention for something that's not even going to be built for some years to come.
No, it's very much part of the process that the developers have to get involved with in order to satisfy the UK planning requirements, because these wind farms are all outside of our territorial waters and therefore come under the jurisdiction of the UK.
Okay. So Minister Cretney's written a letter saying, watch out, don't block our sea lanes. Is that how I understand it to be?
In short, very short, yes. The proposals from Celtic Array, which is a joint partnership between Centrica and Dong Energy, have a proposal that would build 2 wind farms to the east and the southeast of the Isle of Man, but outside our territorial waters, and they would, along with all of the other obstructions that are out there, and we know about the existing wind farms off Barrow, the Morecambe Bay gas fields. If we start to add those together with the 2 wind farm proposals, we have a lot of obstructions out there, and our assessment is that they could, if they aren't developed with our needs in mind, obstruct the steam packet's routes, and that's a real worry for us.
But will they be listening to us at all? I mean, will they just carry on? It's not inside your territorial waters, is it?
That is a problem, but we have no reason to think that they won't take us our thoughts into account. They are duty bound by the rules that their planning and consultation process has to follow to take account of consultees' views. They can't just come and listen and ignore us. They have to report into their planning process that they have consulted and what they have done about the issues that have raised. So we've no reason to think that we will be ignored, but we're mindful that is an option, and we have a fallback plan if that's the case.
So, I mean, reading about this, the worst scenarios is that steam packet could end up putting a fair amount of time on some of their journeys, and especially when it comes to TT, when they're really running back to back, that could really mess up all sorts of schedules. Yet they haven't done much about this. They're leaving it to you, are they, to kind of raise the concerns?
The steam packet are very much working with us. They are supplying us with the technical details. I was away last week with senior officials from the steam packet at a meeting with UK government officers. So we're very much working in partnership with this. But I think because the steam packet issue is only part of the problem, it's very much for government to lead. Obstructing a sea route would obviously obstruct the ship and cause extra distance and extra costs. But if that service then impacts on the wider economy and on the people, it's a government issue. So it's very much one for government to lead.
Okay, well, the one we're talking about is Centrica, because I mean, Dong are over this week having their own consultation. But with Centrica, I mean, they have been over here. They've held some public consultations. I've tried to interview them. They won't be interviewed. I mean, I've tried numerous times. They won't go on camera for me. I mean, they may for others, but at the minute, I'm drawing a blank on that, which is surprising. You'd think they would be wanting to try and put their views over. I mean, are they nervous about the Isle of Man causing problems to their little party?
I think they're probably nervous about public perception and the media in general. But it's probably timing. This is very early in the process. The applications for their wind farm developments are months, if not a year or more away. So there's time for that. But it's certainly something that we will remind them that they have an obligation to talk to the wider media.
And at the end of the day, we will get some wind farms, I suppose, in our territorial waters as well at some point, if everything goes along the plans that are envisaged. Again, will that all be taken into account to make sure that nothing impedes with the steam packet and other vessels in the Irish Sea?
If it's in our territorial waters, then we have a direct ability to control where these things go, and we'd be very mindful of not obstructing normal shipping routes. But we're interfacing with the UK and the Irish authorities at various levels, because it is and with the developers themselves, because it is an obvious problem. If you put an obstruction in the sea, then the ships have got to go round it, and therefore they know that they have to accommodate the ships and the normal shipping routes. It's just a question of how they do it.
So when will this actually be done? I mean, when will we be looking at the opening of this whole wind farm and the extension into the area we're talking about? What year are we talking about?
Centrica's development is unlikely to go ahead before 2017.
Is that starting it or finishing it?
Starting.
Right.
Starting, and then it'll be several years after that in sort of phased development. Dong Energy's proposal to extend the existing Walney wind farm is likely to be a year or two ahead of that.
So it's not tomorrow, so there's plenty of time still for negotiations.
Yeah, there is time, but time has a habit of disappearing very quickly. So we're mindful of pressing on with the right message to the right people, so that we get our thoughts and our views well heard.